I think the quote there is just just stay alive. Just survive. Do you
I'm
understand?
sorry, you actually kill me. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Just stay alive.
What is this? All this your advice? I don't understand. Yeah.
Just try as much as possible. At some point, things won't go the way you want them to go.
Fair.
Understand? I kind of like watch stories about it, or even people I know who work with startups who are founders, and there are times where they can't even pay salaries. And in fact, I mean, salary every day we pay salaries virtually leaves me because because it's a lot, right? And then also you've got the team is working for you. They are trying to
Yeah.
get you a step closer to that vision, and you should reward them for that, right?
Yeah.
But then that aside, really, as a founder, one thing you should really try to do is to stay alive. Just try to keep it standing. You can pivot as much as possible,
Yes.
but just
Yes.
make sure you keep it standing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are times where if we are thinking about, okay, how do we make payroll? I'm like, okay, events are not existent. So what else do we look at? And we start running marketing for other companies. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, but just you want to explore until you have tried everything.
Everything.
I think the Bible says something about after
Pastor. Pastor. Pastor.
sorry. No. The Bible says something about after you've done all to stand. So really ensuring that you've tried everything, and before you say, okay, it's not it's not working.
Mm.
Let me just move on to something else.
Mm.
And yeah, if you are at that position, I think it's not something to really start beating yourself over at.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that you can reinvent yourself as much as
As
possible.
possible.
You
True.
get, like, for example, I'm thinking of, I need to go back to school. I need to go back to medical school. I need to be a neurosurgeon. So I'm like, okay, after this events thing, don't worry.
Eh, God.
I'm going to reference this video in the future,
Okay. No problem.
but yeah, so you can reinvent yourself as much as
Yeah.
possible,
True.
despite where you are at the moment. It could, and also at some point you will think that, oh, this is it. This is the end of the road, and at some point you're like, okay, something just cripples in, and like, okay,
Yeah. True. True.
yeah. So,
Think about it like crypto.
hmm,
Yeah.
tell me.
Think about it like crypto, because
Oh yeah,
and
the rise
it's
and fall. Yeah.
yeah, it's very
Oh yeah,
volatile, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
some days is good,
Yeah,
it's
some days it's
amazing,
good. Yeah.
yeah,
And some days it's
and some
terrible.
days it's just like,
Yeah.
why did I start this
Yeah.
nonsense? You just see, you will delete your
I mean, but
Binance.
not CBX though, but
I'm sorry, not CBEX,
not
please.
CBX though. Yeah.
Please. And
Yeah.
if you anything you see in CBEX hand, now
It's
you sabi.
yes.
But I'm talking about like cryptocurrency. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's really just that wave. Some
Yeah.
days is good, some also like the stock market. Just in case you're not familiar with the way crypto moves funny.
Yeah.
Stock market as well. So right now the stock market is
Yeah.
it's
It's
so
not looking
crazy.
interesting.
God, it's so crazy. But the truth is
With
that
my 10K stocks, my 10,000
$10,000
naira stocks.
dollars. You have $10K. Don't
10,000
worry.
naira stocks.
I will follow you anywhere you're going after this space. I'll just be following you.
My 2K stocks.
Oh, $2,000,
Naira.
euros, pounds. Oh my God.
On Sterling Bank, sure.
Eh?
Yes.
So as a founder, as a convener, what has been your most challenging slash difficult? Mine obviously minus payroll, right? Where you can be crying and you're paying salary.
Yeah.
Minus payroll. What has been your most difficult or most challenging time? What have you had the most difficulty navigating?
Well, it's an everyday thing. It's money.
I just told you minus.
Payroll is not
Okay,
money.
so-
It's just part of money.
Okay, so what to let me
It's
just allow you, because I
yeah.
know I can't change your
Nah,
mind.
you can't. It's money. One of the most unique things about being a founder or running something is that one day you're all you're smiling.
Yeah.
The other day you're looking to the ceiling and you're like, okay, um So it's not working. The next day, okay, you're smiling again. So
Yeah.
it's very volatile, and money is one of the major things that is a problem. But then besides that, I would say it's always been, or it's also um being able to. So you see, one thing about being a founder or running something is that you've got to figure out where the waves are moving.
Okay. Okay.
You've got to, so that you're not running it
The opposite direction.
exactly.
Mm.
So you're not running a marathon when it's a
It's a
relay.
relay.
Do you understand?
Mm.
So it's figuring out that you are getting things right.
Mm.
In as much
Okay.
as, yes, in as much as it's, you can't have it figured out, but having that discernment to know, okay, at this point, I need to
Mm.
look
Mm.
the other
The other
way.
way.
Okay, having also figuring out where the waves are moving. Okay, I need to go this route.
Yeah, just always being on top of realities, the
Exactly.
current realities, because every day
Exactly.
things change.
Things change every day.
Like I never heard of Web3
Yeah.
in 2019, for instance. Maybe I was
Yeah.
just late to the party, but now everybody is Web3, Web3. So
Yeah.
like I'm guessing what you're saying is that you just have to be even beyond your own ecosystem. If you're a
Yeah.
tech founder, for instance, you may think that, oh, you just have to be on top of the tech ecosystem and you'll
Yeah.
be fine. But
No.
there are other realities that will still impact your
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
just have to be aware of. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's it. And also being able to ensure you get the job done.
mm,
You see, a lot of founders, as a founder, you're taxed to, if you're venture backed, you're taxed to make more money so you can give to your
yeah,
investors so they can
yeah.
go, right? So being able to figure out a lot of ways to break even, being able to look at various ways to, make revenue, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
that's really like one of the major things that I know every founder battles with.
Battles
You're
true.
trying to increase your margin to, like, okay, if our cost per acquisition is, like, say, 10 naira for every customer,
Yeah,
and we only make two naira out of
out
that,
of that,
that
yeah.
is bad. So you need to be, reduce the cost per acquisition.
Acquisition, yeah.
You need to be able to ensure that, okay, you're spending less to get more customers and your margins are making sense. Do you understand? So, and that's something every founder has to battle with, right? And you're constantly on marketing, you're constantly on growth. I see this guy on Twitter almost every hour, Shiggy of paid HR.
I
And
do you know that before you even said his name, I almost said it. Yeah,
yeah,
you have to
he's
keep. Yeah,
exactly, because he's selling his
yeah.
business, you know.
Him and the guy from
Yeah,
Altco, Hack
yeah,
Sultan.
Adewale,
No, Hack
yes.
Sultan.
Yeah,
Adewale
that's it.
is even
Oh yes, sorry,
is
Hack Sultan. Yeah,
Adewale is quiet,
yeah,
I
it's
think,
quiet.
or
It's Hack
quieter.
Sultan. Yeah,
Hack Sultan is
yeah.
always trying to
So
get people on courses.
exactly.
Yeah,
So and that's why I am, yes, selling my own market. So
yeah.
that people can come and you know. So, but yeah, think really ensuring that people, you're in the face of people back to back.
Back to back. Yeah,
Thinking about a lot of ways to kind of like reduce marketing spend, because you need to run on operations.
mm-hmm.
It's a lot, and it's an everyday struggle,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, I guess it never ends. Sadly, never ends. But yeah, I think the good thing about the entire experience is just that you get to look back and be like, okay, we've had some pretty impressive
Yeah.
growths.
Mm-hmm.
Say you were spending 10,000 naira last year on marketing. They say you're spending 25,000. Like, okay, means we earn more.
Yeah, you earn more, definitely.
Exactly. And you're like, okay, we are making some sort of progress, no matter how little. We are making some sort of progress. Um, and yes, you also need to ensure that you look everywhere to make money. Everywhere,
Yeah.
everywhere legitimate. Everywhere, yeah. So that's really, really important.
It's like you have EFCC EFCC phobia because you're always putting disclaimer.
Allegedly.
You're always putting disclaimer.
Allegedly.
Like you have EFCC
Yeah,
phobia.
so I really, because it's important, because nowadays they're like, it's really important that people
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
people have issues with regulators, you know,
Yeah. There's
whichever
a
sector.
compliance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So regulators compliance is really important.
Yeah.
So, allegedly. Put the allegedly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was going to ask you, I was actually going to follow that question up
Okay.
with, okay, so after all the challenges, what makes it better? But I think you've also sort of answered
Yeah.
that when you spoke about
The growth.
seeing the results at the end of the day, when you compare your spend last year and you compare it to this year, and you see you're
Yeah.
spending more and you're not necessarily bleeding by
Yeah.
spending more.
Yeah.
It just shows that in fact there was
Yeah.
some growth.
And there is increased success or
Yeah.
progress
Yes.
of some sort.
Mm-hmm. So this year we have your conferences coming up as
Okay.
well,
Yes.
right? And we want you to formally invite us and tell us why we should come
Yeah.
and why we should bring ourselves to the Tech Expo or the Startup
Okay.
Fest. So just give us a little bit of what
Yeah.
we can see or expect. We already know that there's going to be value, but is there anything that you want to give our listeners dibs into? Like, is there any small thing you want to spill for us?
Okay. This camera or the other camera? This camera. Okay. All right. So yes, we do run a couple of events in different regions. They say if you are a C-suite, you make the decisions in your company up to some level, and then the Africa Tech Expo is for you. Pretty much that's where we bring in enterprise businesses, people who are doing business, who are enterprises, so to say, to come to tech business, right? So it's really one of the major places where deals happen, tech business happens. So and also is one of like the major gatherings of inventors. So if you're in drones, you build cool robots, EVs, cars, satellites, whatever, hardware. ATE is for you, the Africa Tech Expo. I know we do have some sort of discounts running at the moment, so you could really maximize that. And I would look forward to connecting with you. If you're a founder, you're a startup, you do things, you work with investors, or you're an investor looking for like the next big deal for yourself, then the festival in November is for you. That's the Startup Festival. It's happening in Nairobi next month, May, with ALX and Antler and Clarpexo, and the other one is in November. However, the Tech Expo is powered by Brits, one of our major partners. If you are into crypto, Web3, they're the ones to work with. So, and I look forward to connecting with you and seeing how we can do business together.
Great. So we're almost done. We just
Okay.
have one question for you.
Okay.
So this is our Help I'm Stuck segment.
Okay.
This segment is just questions. So there's a link in our bio that you can use to share questions to us, and we'll select a question and we'll share with our guests for the day. So it's a Help I'm Stuck segment, and this is a question. Okay. So I applied for graduate trainee programs at 2 oil companies, and I gave it my best. I didn't sleep for at least 1 month before the exams because I was trying my very, very, very best to make sure that I got into the role. Long story short, I didn't get either. However, I got a job at a tier 2 bank, and my offer letter makes me so sad because I know that I could have earned so much more as at one of the oil companies. Am I being ungrateful?
I don't think so. So, that's interesting. So you see, when most times, like we mentioned earlier, most times you get to put your best into something. You're like, this is my best shots.
Yeah.
Like, you know that no one else is deserving of this except me.
Except me. Mm-hmm.
And you take it through and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
The sad thing there is this, or the most interesting thing about that is this: you might actually have been the best
True.
person, but then what you should understand is a lot of factors come into play when it comes to these applications and stuff. Maybe it could be that they didn't even review your application. Maybe it could be like it got lost in the system. Maybe there is some politics, nepotism in play, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that come into place when it comes to this kind of applications that is beyond your control, you know. And this is even why I don't like applying for visas, because you know that you're putting your destiny in someone else's hand. Do you understand? So it's quite similar. But then, you know, that you could have been the best person possible,
Yeah.
right? But then I think that didn't happen at that point is no reason to say, that's it. I think I'm not doing this again,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Most times, what you should have done is applied for more than one,
Mm.
up to 10, up to 15, because then you have a higher chance of
Okay.
at least getting something reasonable, right?
Yeah.
So, but then I think with the current offer that you have, I think maybe what you could do is take it and use that as just a starting point,
Yeah.
and look out for all the roles. If you're determined at the graduate training program, at that institution, try again, or
Yeah.
try again and other companies, right? Because I don't think once is enough. Once is never enough. It is just outliers that get it once.
Mm.
So, and if you're not an outlier, that is still fine, right? So you want to try again. The
Yeah.
offer that you have, yes, it's just, I think it is just a starting point.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, you can't say that is your entire future.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that offer letter. So you want to start it or take it up. Yeah, I mean, you might even along the line get some experiences, even have a change in a direction. You might say, okay, you want to even do this instead, and then you would look
Yeah. Actually.
exactly, and
Yeah.
and you will look back 3-4 years back and be like, okay, I'm glad
I'm
I
glad
wasn't
I.
even
Mm-hmm.
admitted into the
Mm-hmm.
program. Do you understand? So, but you want to just look beyond that rejection. It is a very hard thing to do, because literally a month ago I was rejected on something that I had put my best foot forward, and I had to travel miles away to apply for this. And you know I had gotten necessary approvals. I was so sure I was getting this. Nothing nothing was gonna tell me that I would not get it. Clean applications. I had the best of resume, all of those.
Mm.
And it didn't even take 1 week. They said, "Oh, sorry, we don't even we're not going ahead. Don't worry. Don't even stress it." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "You guys cannot be serious." I went back. I emailed like this. They're like, "No, we've reviewed. We're not going ahead. Stop. Pressurizing us." And I was like, "Okay." 1 week later, I mean, like, it wasn't a very good feedback
Yeah.
or good this thing, but I kind of like, I was like, I mean, this is not the end. And I had like 5 more places I
Yeah.
was willing to also explore besides that. So I had already conditioned my mind that, if this doesn't work, yes, I had told myself that nothing would make me not to get this. But at the back of my mind somewhere, I was like, even if this doesn't pull through, I
Yeah.
have
There are
this other
others. Yeah,
options.
that you're looking
You
forward
know,
to.
that those still are not guaranteed, but at least it increases my probability of getting one. Do
Mm.
you understand? But you can't just pick one and say,
One. Yeah. You
that's
can't pick
it.
one or two
One or
and
two,
say, oh
exactly.
yeah, at least you
Yeah.
have to
Except if you
cast
have
your
someone
net
at the back
wide.
end who is going to sort it out for you. Because a lot of things come into place here. There could be nepotism, some
Yeah.
politics,
Yeah.
some washing of the hands,
What's washing of
Uh,
the
you know why
I
me.
don't know anything. No, what's washing of the
you,
hand?
don't bother, don't worry. So there could be some washing of their hands. There could be, maybe the system even just filtered yours out.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
true.
you can't tell because it's not in your control. So you can't say okay because I didn't get it. So these guys who have sent me this, you guys are not up to my level. Times have
You
changed.
don't
My
have work and
money.
you're saying somebody is not to
Exactly,
your level.
exactly.
Omo,
Even if
are
it
you up
is,
to their level?
even if it's 30,000 naira that is in the offer letter.
Ah,
Uh,
no.
oh,
No, no,
okay,
no, no, no,
okay.
no,
I mean, that
no.
is minimum wage now.
No. Minimum wage is now 70K
Uh,
now, something like that.
how much are they paying NYC people?
They started paying them their complete money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very good time to be an
Are
NYSC
you
person. It's now
serious?
77K.
Interesting.
Yeah. You want to do NYSC?
Yes. But then, even if it's 70K, you would just start it and maybe look beyond the pay. It is very hard to do that because nowadays the economy is something else. But then, just start something. Just start
Yeah.
doing something.
I agree
And
with that
yeah,
actually.
and
Yeah.
then along the line, you would, but then you don't want to start it and say, okay, let me just do this and be whiling away my time, not giving my best to this company because it's not what I wanted. No, you don't do that. You want to say, okay, I'm gonna put in my best in this,
Mm-hmm.
my best possible in this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna ensure that at least I use this as a learning curve for me.
Okay.
While I'm also applying, but at least this
Yeah.
is my learning curve, right?
Yeah.
But the major thing you need to do is get over that rejection. It's very important. If you need to sleep and wake up like a few times to get over the exactly
Yeah.
the rejection is very important, and you just go with what's in front of you, and yeah, you see what comes out of that.
Out of it. Okay, fair enough. I actually agree.
Mm,
Funny enough, like this question was not planned.
yeah,
And it's so crazy that it tied to like what I was saying earlier when I
yeah,
was like, oh, I don't want to be deep. Where it's like,
exactly.
oh, you are at this point where you feel like you failed at something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be the case. You can look at it as a failure, or you can look at it as just a different opportunity, right? So it's two different industries. This is a bank. You were gunning for oil, right? So it's two different industries. You don't even know what's obtainable
Exactly.
in like where you're
In both
going to.
platforms,
Yeah,
yeah,
you don't know.
in both
So
sectors.
it's really just an opportunity for you to pretty
Yeah.
much test the waters.
Yeah, and also
right?
banking and oil and gas sometimes go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Banking serves oil
Yeah.
and gas customers, so you
Yeah.
can even get to meet your next employer.
Yeah.
In the banking role. So
Yeah. So it's I feel like it's I honestly feel like a bank is a very good place to start your career. It's a very, very good place to start your career. Yeah, definitely. Like oil companies, they pay lots of there was this company that their offer trended on X a while
Yeah.
ago. That I think
Seplat,
Seplat, that they did
I
graduate
think
trainee.
their board is even speaking at ATE.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The graduate trainee program, I think they said
It's-
it was around 3 point something.
Yeah.
So imagine you are seeing 3 point something, then when you
You
now
now
check your own
enter,
offer, you now see
100K.
you get. So it can be a
Even me,
little
I cannot recover from that.
it can be a little
Yeah.
heartbreaking, but at the end of the day, sincerely, right?
Mm.
That's not the end of your story. It's just a start. It's a slower start. I'm not going
Yeah.
to lie to you. People should not
It's quite slow.
try to tell you that
You could have.
the money does not matter.
Yeah,
It matters.
It
Oh.
matters actually.
Have you seen how much things are outside? Money
Yeah.
really matters, but like you said about control, if it's something that is not within your control,
Yeah.
right? Just accept the situation as is now, then work for something better as time is going. Yeah. So this is a good place for us to stop, right? I really would have liked for the conversation to go even longer, but let's just keep it to
Yeah.
as far as we've come today. And like Clinton has said, the Tech Expo is coming. The Startup Festival is also coming all this year. There's one in Nairobi. So if you have money for flights to Nairobi, please give it to me so that
Yes.
I can go to Nairobi.
I endorse this message.
Thank you very much. So that I can go to Nairobi on your behalf.
Yes.
Right?
Tested and trusted.
And help you.
Yes.
Do you understand? I'll help you at network.
I
Okay.
endorse this message.
Thank you so much, guys, for listening to the podcast. Definitely, we're coming back with another guest, and we will have, as usual, gists for you, and we'll also have things that can help you to grow your career, to scale your business, and really, truly just be a top flyer at whatever you're doing at the moment. Follow us, like, share, subscribe. I will not stop saying it. Please subscribe to the pod. Also, we hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Oh, I
Nice.
didn't celebrate that, but I'm going to
Nice.
celebrate it now. We hit 5,000 subscribers. Please, guys, we can do 10K. Okay, let's double that number before the end of the month. Oh God, the month has almost ended. Let's double that number before the end of May. Okay? Yeah. So see you guys in our next one. Clinton, do you want to tell our guests goodbye?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Do appreciate. I feel like I should be back here anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You'll be back.
And also to celebrate the 5K followers.
Yeah, you wash it for me.
Exactly. I will.
Give me $5,000.
Yeah. At Cafe One VI. Come to Cafe One VI.
Yeah,
drinks and food, RSVP, Abi.
This is why you are afraid of EFCC.
Yeah.
You must have done something before to EFCC. You've done something to them. You've done, because why are you inviting people to come and take drinks? Who will pay for the drinks?
So guys,
I'll carry your bill.
Thank you for subscribe, like, comment. We are active on all platforms. If you want to interact with us personally, come to Cafe One. Happy to host you. See you on the next one.
See you guys on our next episode.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.